Questron is one of the top Sombra players. Probably considered second to Fitzy in terms of the content space. Really, really fucking good Sombra player. And he has been saying since before the patch dropped, when the rest of us, myself included, were we're basically talking about how she's basically new Cass, and I love that like some of the bigger names used my exact words on that too, which is crazy. I'm not saying that they were taking it from me, just that is how aligned the opinions have been across the board, big and small. But they have Questron, who was like, hey, she's actually going to be really, really good, just different. All of us were like, all right, Questron, fucking get out of here. But I've been starting to see that she's actually not that bad. She definitely got a net nerf, but there's a lot of really good things. So let's see. Hey, Editing Spear here. Really just wanted to come on and say, if you like this video, please let me know in the comments if you want to see more. This is my first ever YouTube video, and I would love the feedback. It helps me out so much. If you would like to leave a like and a subscribe, I would appreciate that as well. Please don't feel obligated. But yeah, enjoy the video.
13 is the talk of the town. Her stealth was set from infinity all the way to 5 seconds, while everyone was losing their collective minds and thinking the sky fell down and Sombra—
Well, technically it was taken from infinity down to 5 seconds with a 16-minute auto cooldown, but you know.
was died. I studied Sombra. I pushed through to really see if it was maybe just a massive skill issue. And this is what I found. I had a 65 to 70% win rate after 40 games played in high masters. Right after a massive load-bearing pillar—
I didn't realize he was only masters. He's a little bit higher than me. That's crazy.
Being taken out of her kit is definitely way too high, even for me, but it just felt off. Something in her
What'd he say?
After 40 games played in high masters. Right after a massive load-bearing pillar being taken out of her kit is definitely way too high, even for me, but it just felt off. Something in her kit just didn't feel right, and it bugged me. It bugged me a lot. As far as I could tell, the problem was—
Yeah, I don't know where he's going with this, but yeah, something feels off. It's actually a really, really good rework that is has decimated every low elo Sombra player. And you have to be good at her. But like she's not actually that bad if you're good. She's not that bad. She's little couple of micro changes could probably fix her. And make her so that she's a little more consistent for those of us who are good at her.
Wasn't that stealth was terrible or that the translocator was terrible either. The problem was using one meant the other one got less value. It's essentially a lose-lose scenario.
Yeah, this is very true, actually. I don't know. It's weird because you can still get value out of combining them, but dear God, it's such a tight space, tighter than your mom's pussy, to get the value that you need out of both abilities being in tandem. You can make it work. Some maps are better at making it work than others. Sometimes you have to use 2 or 3 cooldowns of your translocator, which sucks. It sucks the value out. And that is kind of a pain point. You can make it work, but I don't know how you remove it without also removing virus. I would be cool with making like scroll wheel or some shit like that be the extra input. I'm sure the bigger concern is controller players. I don't know, because I think virus should be in her kit. But also we need to separate these abilities.
If you use the translocator without using stealth, your cooldown is a whopping 7 seconds, which is a super duper long time. Like, woof, do you know how many things can happen in 7 entire seconds? The more of a plan you have, the less likely it is that you can't perform it. And I figured this was the crux of why so many content creators, when the season launched, complained and said that Sombra was dead. And I won't lie, it feels weird to play like this, so I wanted to try out one small, very impactful fix to her. The fun factor of last season could come back without permanent stuff coming back too. So I called up my buddy's cactus puppy who worked with a community member of mine called Lystar. They together made a custom game for me to try out the change I had in mind to fix her. After using the translocator, which is on a 7-second cooldown, the more stealth you forfeit, benefit, the more you get your translocator cooldown refunded. This way, you naturally get rewarded for both playing aggressively, but also get rewarded for being passive when need be. So I called my Discord community.
Okay, this is actually a really good change. Like really, really good that I've noticed and thought of as well. I have an alternative potential to this. But no, I absolutely think that if you use Translocator and you go into stealth and you leave after 1 second, you should get the other 4 seconds refunded into your Translocator cooldown. That would make it a 3-second cooldown, but you only used it for momentum, right? It goes back to how it was last season. Good Sombra players did not just stay in Invis, hack you, and run away. That's not... It's just not how it fucking worked, bro. Good Sombra players would TP for mobility's sake, and that's it. Mobility, you canceled Invis by holding melee before you came out, and then you go into your engagement. If you do that now, you're fucked for the next 6 seconds, even if you get that kill off. Then what? You just die. So this would actually be a fantastic change, again, just to smooth out the consistency for actually good Sombra players.
To action and opened up the lobby to test these changes out, and this is what we found. Hello, Cactus Puppy.
Hello. So the only thing we've changed since we did testing is that we made it so that if you get negative status effects, that kicks you out of stealth by default, and that won't refund your stealth cooldown. So if you get slept, your translocator doesn't get refunded at all.
What about
Anti-nade does not kick you out of stealth, I don't think. Our code doesn't change anything about stealth works. We're just looking for when stealth ends, and then if it ended because you did something, you'll get refunded some of your translocator cooldown. Or if your stealth ended because you got slept, shattered, stunned by Brig, or walked into a junk trap, you won't get your translocator cooldown reduced.
Okay, so I just won't do that then. Not a problem, not a problem.
I think that's fair. If these changes were to push to live, I think that's fair. Yeah, if someone else takes the initiative, or in like Junkrat's case, you just kind of fuck up and step on it, and you are forced out of stealth, you should not get refunded. That's you know, that's a no-brainer. That's without question. Yeah.
Seems easy enough.
Simply dodge the sleeps, yep.
All right. So in the setup phase, they said, oh, it already works. Okay, perfect. Okay, so if you immediately cancel stealth, like it's on 7, 6, 5, 4. I click it now, it goes down by a second and a half. I think it's I saw. Okay.
Okay.
And I canceled immediately. Oh, it's 7. They said it wasn't active yet. If you immediately forego stealth before you even go into stealth, it doesn't trigger. Okay, so I can now just do this. Hack that.
Yeah.
That should be fine. Yeah, because I'll have a
Huge.
trigger again, and I can whee. Oh, that's so nice.
It should if you like are meleeing as you do it, but I'm not sure.
I don't use melee to exit stealth.
You don't use melee to exit stealth? Maybe not in new Sombra. That was actually something I loved just as a Sombra tech last season, or like since her rework, whatever fucking season it was, season 7, season 8. I would just use that to immediately come out of stealth, even if you didn't have the animation go off. Just putting the input in as something that does trigger you out of stealth, I always found useful.
Yeah,
Okay.
it should if you're like shooting.
And then I hack you, and I should still be fine because I'm returning here in 2 seconds. Oh, that's so nice. I don't have that like those 3 seconds where I just like violently panic. This is so nice.
No, I like that.
Okay. Oh, they're taking the Winston. Okay, and then I can transfer away. Okay. Oh, I don't need the whole stealth. I can cancel it here. Look for a hack. Oh. More down.
Well, I'm about to say, you win that, right? You win that, right?
Wait. Okay. Translocating off cooldown. Wait for the bubble, and then I volley it purely. Whatever.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, dude,
I like
this.
this.
Is so nice.
I like this a lot. This literally would, I think, fix the problem, because I understand a lot of the community's issues with Sombra come from the people who play her so fucking brain dead, right? You're either playing Hack the Tank Simulator, or you're just going into Invis, going to the back line, hack virus shoot, maybe you get a kill because your team wasn't paying attention, or I don't know, maybe they just, you know, TP, go into invis, wait 2 seconds, come back. That's not what good Sombra players do, though. I get she's annoying, and, like, we can always touch on that if, you know, you guys want, but that's okay. There should be annoying characters in hero shooters, regardless of the hero shooter. Doesn't matter if it's Overwatch, Valorant, fucking Marvel Rivals, once that comes out, that will have annoying characters, I promise you. Deadlock, doesn't matter. They should exist. But good Sombra players only used stealth for mobility. Sure, you got a little bit of extra benefit out of it staging, but, like, that's not what the crux of her play style is, right? Not if you're good. It's this. It's just mobility. It's jump here, jump there, jump here, jump there. It is a she's meant to kind of play like a Tracer that can take high ground. Because Tracer, you know, like any other character, with certain exceptions, where you can angle it weird and blink, can't really take a high ground spot, cannot take a power position. She has to wrap around and get there. And she can do it faster than most characters, like do it much faster than a Casty could because of the blinks, but Sombra is meant to be played where you're TPing up, down, all around, jump here, jump there. The invis is just kind of an added benefit. And I think she does need it for her kit, especially when people like when like Widow exists, and they can just exist for free now because you can't get to her. I don't know, man. It's this would fix everything.
Oh my god, I don't feel frustrated at all with this. This is so nice. And then Translocator cleanse that immediately, and then I'm back in the fight on another Translocator in a second here. Oh my god. Oh my god! And now
I'm pausing a lot. I really should just let him cook and keep watching this. But notice how, again, he's using it as a cleanse. He's using it as a movement ability. He's not just sitting in stealth and trying to go boop, boop, hack, virus, boop. Is not what he's doing. He is constantly out of invis, shooting, in the fight, taking positions, taking angles. That's what you do as Sombra if you're good. I think this needs to go live, like, hot fix it now. I don't think they will. Maybe next season at the earliest, but yeah, this is good Sombra gameplay. This is why Sombra's so much fun.
I can use invisibility because I don't have to use it before. Oh, this flows so nice. Oh, this is beautiful! We are back to the glazing blizzard, I see. What? No, I'm glazing Cactus Puppy and Lights. Okay, and then I can try to get to engage. Bam! Me first. And then I have another Translocator in the middle of that. Sick. God, I love being right. I love being correct about things. It's so satisfying. And then if I want to use stealth, I don't have to actually go there. Like, I'm not winning here. Like, this is actually kind of close, isn't it? Without having it.
I love this.
Like, to have a lunch break in between doing stuff.
This change is amazing.
They're taking the Winston. I genuinely be okay if they.
I think with I think this might actually go to live. I think their big thing with Sombra, with this latest rework, was alleviate all of the pain points. Don't strip her kit, just alleviate the pain points, and I think they would rather have gone overboard with the nerfs, which I think they did with the Translocator. Which, yeah, obviously they're addressing here. But I think Blizzard, their philosophy was, let's go harder than we think is necessary, and then if we need to pull it back and buffer later, we can do that. Let's just alleviate these pain points and get this rework out now. Which is fine. I think that's a good decision from the dev team, despite me, calling out Alec Dawson on Twitter. Sorry, man. Mubby. Yeah.
They nerfed Sombra's damage output if they made this a thing. I would take sacrifices to have this be a thing in her kit. I'm not a pro. I don't have a team. That's that I judge it with. I just like the individual gameplay loop just feels clunky because of this one change.
Did I scare you?
And them doing this just fixes it for me. I have no complaints. If this was like how Sombra launched this season, I genuinely think people would not be upset about it. People would not think this is the worst possible or balance change that they've ever.
I'm going to say something that's probably sacrilegious to Overwatch Twitter. I don't care. Because he mentioned that he was like, I'm just some guy. I don't have a team, blah, 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 blah. While I hold the opinion that we should be balancing this for high-level ladder play, I don't believe we should be balancing this for the OWCS. Fuck the esports scene. Truly. I don't care. People are not watching the esports scene because it's balanced. They're watching it because they like esports and they like watching. Just balance for the player base. If it is that big of an issue for the pro scene, they can devise a scheme to balance their own system and make changes, and they can do their own thing. Because it is its own thing. It is completely different from anything you will play on ladder. And we should not be making changes or buffs for the pro scene. We should make it for the highest tier of ladder play, for Master, Grandmaster, Champion, top 500. Because the further you go down the ladder, the balance doesn't fucking matter. Whatever you... People make so many mistakes all the time that you can climb with anything, and no one believes that because they also make so many mistakes that they just can't climb no matter what they play. But you truly can get away with anything in low elo as long as you're smart about it and you know what you're doing and you know your limits and you know the limitations of the players around you. So balance for high elo, but not for pro play. Fuck that. No.
Well, hey, that was a cool EMP, though. Because it's one or the other. I have to use more stealth than I want to just to wait out to get my Translocator back. Which gives me, which removes control away from me. When it comes to, engagements and being dove. And being targeted and stuff. Maybe if they do this, maybe nerf the amount of when opportunist triggers. I don't know how to phrase it. Nerf opportunist and when it triggers, so that it's there's a more stern criteria for it to work or kick in.
If we're gonna nerf opportunist, which I think is fine, don't nerf the old opportunist. Don't nerf the passive. Nerf when the 20% damage kicks in. Right? You can make it so that, I think the lockout, they took it down from 1.3 seconds to 1 second for normal hack, not EMP. And hack lasts for, I think, 5 seconds total. Make it so that the silence portion is the first 60 seconds. 60 seconds. The first second. For the first second. It's not a minute, seconds. Keep it just a lockout, no damage boost on the first second, and then the back 4 seconds, when they have their abilities back, trigger that 20%. I think that would actually be a good trade-off if we were to bring this in. It would be a little bit less annoying for those hacked. And actually, we'll cut this later, because I have to poop really bad. Holy shit. Pun not intended.
How does the food you eat turn into poop?
Okay, Chad, I'm back. Ooh. That was decent shit. 3 out of 5. Oh, great relief. Anyways, let's get back to reacting to Questron. Let's actually back it up a second, because I don't remember what he was saying. Oh, right, we were talking about... He was talking about, what nerfs you could give to her if we implement these changes. Right. No, that'll be there when I edit it later. We don't gotta talk about it again.
Okay. Let me go here. Okay. This just feels so right. This just feels like how it's supposed to work. It's just so nice.
Side note, I really want us to have a Venture meta. The Venture can be super annoying sometimes, but like Venture can be super annoying at times, but also they're such a cool hero, and they've just been kind of existent since their launch.
Cool. Maybe she trigger at 25%, maybe something like that. So you're not using your Translator to just run people down when they're most vulnerable. If this was it, I had no complaints.
Honestly, that's also a really good point. It doesn't need to trigger at 50%. That's how it used to be. That's a carryover from Overwatch 1. 25% be great, 30%, you know, somewhere in there I think would actually be really, really good as well.
Is it 10 out of 10? Genuinely 10 out of 10. I thought maybe like the cooldown would be too low or too high. Honestly, maybe a little bit of a higher minimum cooldown. I think this might, like, I feel maybe I'm using Translator a little bit too much. But at the same time, I don't know. I think I might be getting Translator a little bit too much. Like, it goes down to 4 seconds. But I think maybe it should definitely be 5 or 5.5. Maybe. Because I'm not even, like, mentally...
5's what it was before this latest rework. I'd be cool with that, too. I don't know. I like it how it is here, but maybe he's right. Maybe that is too much. Yeah, you're right. Maybe just a floor of 5.
Aware of a cooldown. Like, I'm just like, whenever I press E, whenever I want to press E, there just is a Translator for me to use. But right now, it really is just whenever I want to press Translator, there just always is a Translator.
Questron, quest, buddy. Okay.
Should have just doubled down. Honestly, would have died. Would have died. Would have died. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Oh, you missed it. You hate to see it.
That party was boring.
And I tried to get here. Oh, I'm out. I'm out.
Oh, you're dead. Oh, buddy, you're dead.
Oh,
Ooh, no, you had the health pack hacked. That's good. That's good. That's good. Little Sombra tip. Health packs are not the most pertinent thing to hack. In a Sombra v Sombra matchup, you absolutely want to hack the one that she's going to want to be playing on, the enemy. That actually becomes like a priority. But if you're not being mirrored, they're not necessarily a priority. However, if there is a major health pack that is right where you want to be playing or where your teams are fighting, like think about by that little like U-shaped staircase high ground off of the main point on Saravasa. That's like right between Garden and Fountain. That mega. A lot of times fights break out there. That can be a really, really priority one to hack. But if your teams are fighting in the room where the point is, there's no point in hacking it. No one's using it. So really just hack the ones that are where you are looking to be playing, or hack the ones where your team is wanting to play. Other than that, just don't hack them.
oh. Fan behavior! Fan behavior!
And see, that's cool as well. You can still, even with this, with the increased translocator uptime, you can still be chased down. And that's, I think, the best part of the previous Sombra rework, is you can chase down a Sombra. I actually think chasing down a Sombra is a little bit harder in this version than it was in the last version. Which I don't mind it being easy to chase down, or yeah, I don't mind it being easy to chase down a Sombra. Like, if I fuck up, you should absolutely be able to just sprint after me and crap my cheeks.
Nerf.
Alright, so what do you want to make the ratio then?
Minimum cooldown 5.5 or no 5? I don't know.
The
Would there be a way for...
So I didn't realize he was actually going to, in this video, have them adjust it to be that base 5. Let's see what that looks like, because that I think that would be interesting.
we have
like
is-
enter a number?
Our setting right now is basically how many seconds of the stealth timer do you need to give up to get 1 second off your translocator. So it's a little bit weird to ask like minimum
okay.
cooldown in that sense.
You should have to do all of that. I think if you're nervous, it should be fine to be able to...
Hold on, I'm gonna glaze for a second. Give me a sec. We need to do something. I just need to glaze Questron for a second.
Figure out like the feel for it. We don't need to nail the numbers. It's just this felt a little bit too strong, so I think just a little bit of a nerf, it should be fine.
Honestly, he's
Like,
just
out, I'm
he's
gonna
just
have that
cooking,
here.
bro.
Oh.
5-star Michelin meal.
Okay, that seems about right though. Like I was calming my pants down, I panicked a little bit, but I barely got out. I think that's fine.
It still looks like it's at 7.
No. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, let's go high ground. You know
Why
what,
is
you
it
guys go high
7,
ground, I go
6,
mid.
5, 4, 6, 3, 4? We use the whole thing, so we're not getting
Hobbies.
cooldown
High.
at 5 seconds.
More in a fade.
That threw me
Okay.
off. That actually like really threw me
So
off.
far, yeah, no. So far, the restriction on Translocator feels. This feels about right. Yeah, no. This definitely feels way right. This feels right. It doesn't feel like I'm just always able to use Translocator. This feels like the sweet spot. There's a little bit of a learning curve too. It doesn't feel like I have complete free reign of whenever I want to go anywhere, but it does feel nice to not have to worry about my
Yeah.
stuff the entire time.
Oh, huge.
No.
Cat fucked.
Oh no, the bat signal has been lit.
Yeah, that is how it be when you play Sombra.
Okay.
Ooh, ooh. If they didn't fuck up that landing, you'd be dead.
So, chat, I'm sensing some fan behavior here. And fan behavior does kind of make it difficult to judge if this is a good change or not. Okay. Okay. Listen, if they're doing fan behavior, I'll just hit the game a little bit harder. Relentless video gaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, so far, between the two versions, I selfishly would like the first version that he showed. This version is nice, though. I think this should probably be where they take it first. Or even take it to the first one, let us have it for a little bit, and then nerf it to this, so that people are happy later. Just play a little bit of, psychological games with the player base. But this does seem, yeah. I don't know about 5.5 seconds. I don't know which they set it to, 5 or 5.5. I think 5's the sweet spot. 5's what it was last season, and it was perfect. You could counter, not as Sombra, like you could counter Sombra as like Winston, because their jump cooldowns were the same. It matched up with the breakpoints and the movement abilities of other characters. You could get chased down by Tracer because she had 3 seconds per blink, and you didn't really go that far. Granted, last season you could also get pulled out of Invis, so maybe that is justification for that other half second. It's really interesting, but I think this should go live.
Okay.
Although if we're doing the 5.5 seconds, I don't think we should do the compensatory nerf to anything else. If we are doing the total refund, where you could get it as low as 4 seconds, I think you need to give compensatory nerfs, which is where I, again, selfishly as a Sombra player, I would like that version. But I think the healthiest version for the player base is probably no additional nerfs and just make this one translocator change.
And now I have a Translocator again. I could have been punished then. In my rank, I would have absolutely been punished.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm out. See ya. I'm gonna hack this, see if I can bait the Sombra up here. Hello. Alright. Well, I guess it worked. Please. enemy's hacked. I can brawl. Oh, look at you running away. I'm out. God, I am enjoying myself. Well, I'm not talking because like I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a good time. Because on live right now in the main game, you have to translocate somewhere and just wait 3, 4 seconds, and then you get to unstealth and do stuff. Because if you don't, you're just visible that entire duration with nothing to show for it except for the fact that you might shoot people. So if you get refunded,
Yeah. No, that's literally how it is in the main game. You can get away with hacking someone because it doesn't cancel invis anymore. But then they're immediately aware of you. So you have to wait till there's 1 second left, hack them, come out of invis, and then start shooting, and you have 2 seconds. It's not great.
like however much, it just feels intuitive because you're allowed to be aggressive then. I feel like you should be rewarded for utilizing stealth as efficiently as possible. And then like Sombra's character kit becomes about being as efficient
Nice
as
cleanse.
possible.
Huge
It's
fucking
kind of
cleanse.
like what I would want. It's about efficiency and giving the player of Sombra control. Right? If you make a mistake, you get punished directly for it. Because technically Sombra's
I thought that was some sort of like I don't know how to explain it. I thought that was a bug going through the screen. I've never watched Questron stream. I've just seen clips of his.
always overextended. That's how you play Sombra. You're supposed to always be overextended. The only complaint
Yeah.
I might have with that is that maybe it'd be difficult to explain it to people, but it is a good idea. Actually, no, I mean, it's like one battle patch away. I don't know, I like it. I don't feel like I'm being too dominant in this lobby either. I don't feel like I'm unkillable. I am smurfing, essentially. I get that. So, like, my numbers are supposed to be good, right? But like, God, I love jumping all over the place. I'm having such a fun time.
Yeah, no, that's literally. People think that Sombra mains play Sombra. I'm not talking about Sombra mains, not people who flex to her when they're losing. Sombra mains. People think that Sombra mains are just, the fun police, anti-fun motherfuckers who just enjoy ruining people's day. No, man, I don't give a fuck about that. I like jumping around. They could literally remove hack from the game and I'd be sad. Obviously, they'd give you something else in its place, but like the translocator gameplay and the stealth gameplay, not even the stealth gameplay, but the speed that you move during stealth, right? That is so satisfying. It has nothing to do with setting up and being a rat. I could just run around all day. Not all day, but just run around a Sombra, and that's so much fun. It's the movement of the character that makes who she is, not the hack. It's just a nice little bonus as well.
So you.
Done that before. Did that earlier.
Oh, payback's on the Sombra now. 100%. Uh-oh. It just
Oh, you
so
almost
happens,
fucked up there, bud.
right? Give me the helm on any other hero, I will royally ruin that hero. Just specifically for Sombra. I feel like the amount of hours that I have on the character gives me like a different perspective on like why things click and why things feel cool and satisfying on her.
Same.
Old Sombra would have been dead already. FYI.
Yes. A million times over, yes. Old Sombra, meaning live Sombra, would be dead.
Oh, really? Alright.
And like you said, he's really not getting that much value. His hand's the fucking chef hat now.
Behavior. What? They're on Sombra? No way.
Yep. In a Sombra mirror, it's always priority to fucking poke her out of invis whenever you can. Although I guess that doesn't do much anymore, but yeah.
Oh, what's that?
Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Bye-bye.
Nice.
Nope, I'm out. Yoink. No way!
Again, old Sombra, dead. Live
That's the
Sombra,
noise
dead.
of me being in control, actually. That was... What, me? No. Alright, I mean... Big touch.
Tracer, that's actually huge from the Tracer. Huge EMP. Yep, get the enemy Sombra. Huge, 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 huge. Again, it's the mobility. It's the mobility that makes Sombra Sombra. It's not the fucking hack rat playstyle that a lot of you are used to.
Yay! Won't lie, no notes. I think this is good. I think further testing is on Blizzard.
I think Sombra can be best equated to... Oh, that's a whole video?
But this feels good.
I think Sombra can best be equated to... Oh, what's his name from X-Men? Nightcrawler. Her playstyle is Nightcrawler. Her mains, the actual mains, play her for that playstyle. That Nightcrawler, the boop, 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 show up here, boop, boop, boop. And not because of Invis, just because the translocator. Invis is just for movement. It's just for rotations. That's all it is. I will say, I think I like Questron's version a lot better than I like my version. My suggestion for this has been give her back perma-stealth, but if you are in Invis for more than 5 seconds, then you are revealed to the entire enemy team as if you were like attached with a sonic arrow or something, like fully revealed for those 2 seconds. But you could keep your mobility to keep staging, but people could find where you were if you didn't come out at 5 seconds. And I still think that'd be a fun idea to test, but seeing Questron actually test this out, I think this is healthier. I think this is healthiest, and this should absolutely go live. I still think that the first version that he showed in this video would be best to start with and then nerf quote-unquote her later to what it ended up being in the second game that he played. Yeah, no, fucking W. W's in the chat for Questron. That's actually huge.